Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now we got a lot to discuss this week, and I mean there is a lot to talk about for this week alone. Very busy news week, especially with the whole Drake versus Kendrick Lamar shit, which I will be discussing in a separate video coming soon. But right now our main focus today is going to be in the news of gaming, and this is another topic that a lot of people request me to do, and a game that a lot of people requested me to play now. I'm pretty sure many of y'all have already heard of the game Helldivers 2. This is a game that I have been wanting to play for a while now. I've heard a lot of good stuff about it. I've seen gameplay of it. It looks pretty nice. It looks fun. It's been on my Steam wishlist for about a couple of months now. It's pretty much been on my shortlists of games to try out and play, and even record some of the footage to use in some future videos. Now, obviously, it should be pretty evident that yes, I am in fact a gamer. All of my commentary videos have exactly the same format. You have me talking in the background through a microphone while Audacity is open, and you are only seeing gameplay that I have recorded prior, either before or after. It's essentially the format that made popular commentary channels like Leafy is Here popular. You know, you could just talk about whatever the fuck you want and just have gameplay on the background, and you don't even have to show your face. Like, I could easily go in the Styx Hexenhammer route and just do a webcam and just show me talking into a microphone, or I could do a Leafy is Here Optimus sort of format and just have me talk into a microphone, audio only, and just have gameplay in the background. Gameplay that is completely unrelated to what I am talking about in that video. And for a while now, like, go back to like the early 2010s, like when I was a little kid, I've always wanted to solely focus on gaming for my YouTube channel. Like, that was like the whole primary focus. So yeah, it should be pretty much noted that yes, I am one of those people. I am a gamer, so to speak. The gamer that buys pretty much literally every single title of a major franchise every single year, and has, you know, all the high-tech gear and the RGB keyboards and mice and the whole case with all the lights and shiny cool lights and whatnot. Basically turning my room into like a miniature version of EDC, Tomorrowland, and Ultra combined. The only thing I'm missing is the physique, and that's only because I am a normal Homo sapien, who despite being introverted in the past, is actually outgoing and functions pretty well in society. So other than the physique, yes, I am a pretty big gamer. I am going to talk my own thoughts about video games and the gaming industry. Like, you know, there's this one clip in the new Smiling Friends season that essentially portrays the gaming industry nowadays.
I'm afraid to say it's not 1998 anymore. Things have changed since you decided to leave. These days it's not about collecting cans of cream corn and childish platforming. Now it's all DLC and microtransactions and you. Do you want a chicken nugget?
Yeah, that pretty much sums up the gaming industry nowadays. But right now, we're going to focus primarily on Helldivers 2 because there is something that went on with that game that not a lot of people were pretty much happy about. And by the way, this news actually pretty much deterred me from buying the game after what I just saw. So what happened, link in the description archived of course, and why this happened is because Helldivers 2 is a game, despite being available for PC via Steam, this game was published by Sony, so it is primarily a PS5 game, but a lot of people play this game on PC. All you pretty much need is a Steam account, and that's pretty much it. In fact, nowadays, most player base is on Steam anyway. Most games are on PC via Steam. Even EA, Activision Blizzard, and even Ubisoft all publish their games on Steam. All the big guns have games on Steam. Unless you're, you know, Epic Games and you have your own little thing like the Epic Games Store with like Fortnite and all the other titles that they have. But most people, like the overwhelming majority of people, use Steam and they play their games on PC. Like, I understand that there's already a large player base on console, but nowadays most people game on their PCs. And Helldivers 2 is no exception. So what Sony did in their latest update, so just last weekend, what Sony did was they required PC players, so people who bought the game on Steam, they required their PC base to create a PlayStation account in order to continue playing or to play Helldivers 2. Now, this move was obviously overwhelmingly unpopular. Now, I get that this is a Sony exclusive title, hence why they only released it on the PS5. But as I stated before, the vast majority of player base, especially nowadays, are on PC. And nobody should go through an extra step just to play a certain game. Nobody should. Now, it's one thing to encourage people to, create an account and link your Steam account to your PSN. It's one thing to do that and just encourage people so you can get all the nice features and whatnot. But what Sony did right here is the exact opposite of what most people want. They straight up required people to link a PSN account. Like, you better have a PSN account, otherwise you can't play our game. For starters, not everybody has a PSN. They play the game already, and they're very fine with actually playing the game without a PSN account. And if someone already has a PlayStation and a PSN account, good for them. But it is not a good idea to force people to go through an extra step just to play your game, even if they don't want to. And I see that a lot of people agree with me on this. People have spoke out on Twitter. A lot of independent commentators have already spoken out. People have even gone far to tank the reviews of Helldivers 2. And I mean legit tanking it with bad reviews and calling out Sony's bluff with those reviews. Like, let me read you some that I have found. And keep in mind, these aren't people that are completely bashing the game. In fact, they actually pretty much love the game. From what I heard, it's a good game. They're just only attacking Sony and just, trying to send a message that this is a bad idea and this was a total dick move from Sony. That's basically pretty much what was going on here, as you will see. Nice game, but enforcing the PSN account requirement after 3 months is a terrible move when Sony won't even let customers open an account in many countries. Although an amazing game, the Helldivers experience is not worth being hacked on Sony's servers. Why make me use a PSN account? I came here to avoid your shit. The game has been amazing, but Sony really messed up now. Really thought this was the game, but nope. They had to pull the PlayStation crap. And I don't even own a PlayStation. And I can't be bothered to have to link some crap to be able to play, not to mention being forced to do it or block me from multiplayer. And this last one right here is pretty much one of my favorite ones. Just a few words, keeping it plain and simple. Game is fun, but corporate greed is not. Now again, this drama that came out of the Helldivers community requiring people to have a PlayStation account to play their game, otherwise be locked out, this is what deterred me from buying the game. Like, I want to spend $40 on this game. I believe that's how much it costs on Steam. $40. Like, I have it on my wish list on Steam. I want to be able to spend my $40 and be able to play it without having extra steps just to play it or be locked out. I don't even have a PlayStation. Like one review that I saw, I am just like some of these reviews. I don't own a PlayStation. Well, at least I used to, but not anymore. I don't even remember my PSN. I don't even remember my fucking password or what email I used to sign up. Not everybody has a PlayStation. Not everybody has a PSN account. Not many people want to go through the hassle of getting a PSN account. And just like one of the other reviews says, not everybody around the world can have a PSN account. So the people that live in some of these countries are completely locked out from playing the game. So really what you are doing is limiting the player base of that game. Again, you had a perfectly good game that consistently gets good reviews, that is completely popular. I see it played live on YouTube and Twitch at times, a lot. I get recommended by some of my friends and viewers telling me to actually give this game a try. So what Sony did just by doing that is they took a perfectly good game that is already getting overwhelmingly positive reviews and they completely fucked it. You've essentially just ruined the game just by this one decision alone. Not to mention this other review that we saw where they clearly mentioned the hackable Sony servers. And can you really blame them? Like, I know how Sony servers operate. I know firsthand how bad and how hackable Sony servers are on Sony games. Like, when I used to play H1Z1 with some of my friends, we've always complained about how hackable the servers are. We especially hated the Chinese. Like, remember all those clips that Dr. Disrespect has where he's like ranting about the Chinese and whatnot? Yeah, that was us playing H1Z1. Like, we fucking hated the Chinese. Like, the Chinese, they're hackers. They're all cheaters. Like, every time we play H1Z1 and we bumped into like a Chinese player, they're always like using this shit like aimbot, ghosting, note clipping, and flying and whatnot, and immortality. And it became such a fucking pain in the ass dealing with some of these players, and we would complain all the goddamn time of these hackers. This actually, by the way, is how the whole China #1 thing actually became a meme.
I knew it! China #1! China #1! We all from China! Everyone that I'm fighting is fucking from China because Daybreak don't know what to do!
Yup. That was all of us every time we played H1Z1. We just hated how Sony servers operated because every now and again, we always get these Chinese hackers and they fucking cheat. So can you really blame people on trying to play on a Sony server? I mean, that I can seriously get by and understand. So normally, after a public uproar of a game, like back in the day, there used to be a time where studios, particularly indie studios, would always listen to their community, and they always listen to feedback and actually do what the community wants. And nowadays, especially with the big guns, they don't listen to their community. This explains why franchises like Call of Duty and Need for Speed each year, despite being very successful in the early years, have completely fallen off and are at times suck and are completely unplayable, or have been completely ruined by DLCs and microtransactions and loot boxes and whatnot, taking an already good franchise and ruining it with corporate greed. And that we don't like, and I'm a capitalist and I support capitalism as much as I can, but that's not capitalism, that's corporatism. And corporatism is essentially just communism of big companies, and we don't like that either. So it's no surprise that nowadays the gaming industry is just completely and utterly tone deaf to their own communities that support them and purchase their games. Game corporations, they don't give a fuck. They only give a goddamn fuck of whatever makes them money. You hate loot boxes? Oh, we're gonna give you more loot boxes. Oh, you hate DLCs? Oh, we're gonna give you more DLCs. Oh, our player base also hates microtransactions? You know what? Microtransactions out the fucking wazoo. You see what I mean? Major game studios rarely, if ever, listen to their very own communities because they don't care about them. They only care about making money. That's just how corporations operate. However, this time around, we got a little bit of a curveball because the backlash of this whole change was so much. Again, let me reiterate that the vast majority of the gamer base and the player base, especially of Helldivers, is PC and not PS5. Because the uproar was so great, Sony decided to reverse that change and admit and say, oh yeah, you know what, we were wrong. Yes, we're still going to recommend you to play with a PSN account, but you know what? We're not going to have that requirement anymore. So you know what? We're just going to drop this requirement entirely and just let you play the game with only a Steam account. Now, after this announcement was made, this actually turned out to fix a lot of problems. That's really just the one issue a lot of people had with Helldivers 2. This is a good game. The one main primary issue that nobody wants to deal with is the hassle of having a PSN account, requiring people to do an extra step, requiring people to have an extra account, forcing people in countries that you're not even allowed to have a PSN account, or you're unable to have a PSN account, locking out your entire user base of Helldivers 2. It's one thing to recommend and incentivize people to have a PSN account just to get the full benefits and whatnot, but it's an entirely different thing to force people into it and locking out the vast majority of your player base. That's really the main issue with this requirement. You are literally locking out almost your entire fucking player base just by requiring them to do an extra step and have an extra account. Nobody wants that, especially for those who live in countries where you are unable to do so. They can't play your game because of that. Now, thank God Sony actually realized this and undid that mistake. It seems to have kinda recovered the Helldivers 2 player base. Like, the negative reviews have completely disappeared since then. The game has skyrocketed back into Steam. It's now, once again, the top grossing game of the platform, thank God. But that right there shows the power of the player base. Sony tried to destroy their game with one stupid decision, and they failed. That's really what this boils down to. Now, again, I have not played Helldivers 2. I've been recommended to do so. There will be some gameplay, hopefully recorded, of me playing Helldivers 2. I definitely want to check it out. Even before this whole news, I heard a lot of good things about it. But you know what? It is time to end this conversation down to you, so tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you think Sony was in the wrong for doing this? Do you think they were in the right for doing this? Do you have a PSN account? Do you think Sony made the right decision to undo their mistake? Will you ever trust Sony again after what they did? Again, as always, leave all your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to hit that like button down below. And if you're new around here, be sure to subscribe to the channel and ring the little notification bell. Be sure to follow me on all my social medias, links are in the description below, including my Twitter/X, which is where I am the most active on. Share this video around with your friends, families, boyfriends, girlfriends, enemies, whomever. Definitely helps me out a lot, helps the video grow, and helps grow the channel if you were to share this video with whomever you know. Also, unrelated, I'm actually getting a brand new Discord server relatively soon. You know, the old one kind of got a little bit derelict really quickly, and I got no fucking clue how to run it, so I'm definitely going to need help to run a Discord server in the future. So if you know any people, or if you're one of those individuals, please help me out here. Big things are definitely ahead, especially on the Discord server. So yeah, guys, as always, like, subscribe, ring notifications, and until then, take care, talk soon, and I'll see you guys in the next one. You're awesome.